Ruse is the movie I'm reviewing today, and this movie, the story is written by Adefusi. Pardon me if I'm not pronouncing the name correctly. Director of this movie is Great Valentine Idoche, and the producer of this movie is Grace Ohia. A recap of this movie is a poor girl who is trying to survive, and in the quest of that, she disguises herself as a man to get a driving job and falling in love with her boss. What I like about this movie, you guys, this is a Bimbo Ademoye production. This movie can be found on Bimbo Ademoye TV, so trust me, you expect a bit of quality production from her. Now the storyline is basic, a poor girl falling in love with her boss, and stuff like that. So I'm not going to talk much about the storyline or lesson or whatever in it, because this storyline is actually overflowed, and we know how it always ends. Let's talk about the cast of this movie, starting with Bimbo. You guys know she's so talented that for her to be able to switch from a woman to a man, switching her voice and switching everything about her to suit the character she's acting as a man, guys, she basically tried in this movie. And how she was able to twist her voice, make her voice sound like a man, no, I give it to her. Look, I'll give her 8, man, guys. She did super well in this movie, and I kind of appreciate what she pushes herself. She always tries to push herself to a certain limit. She always takes up roles that she knows she's challenging herself. She's not comfortable in roles that she knows she's best. No, she tried as much as possible to force herself to do things that she is not capable of doing. Or you think, no, this person cannot do it. She always tries to do that, and I'm just happy that she's able to challenge herself for roles that a lot of characters or a lot of actors shy away from. So this was a challenging role, and I just appreciate the fact that she was able to pull through in this character that she did. Then we talk about Kunle Remi. He is also a very fantastic, a very talented actor. In this role, he was playing the boss, and he kind of embodied a boss who already had a girlfriend. The girlfriend was just tormenting his life, and I think he played that role very well. I mean, nothing really exceptional, but in character wise, he did what was expected of him, and that was okay for this kind of production. Then we talk about Sophie. I love her so much, the bougie girlfriend, the saucy girlfriend. She's one character that I love so much in this movie. And also supporting cast of this movie. One thing I appreciate Bimbo for doing is that she uses a lot of people in her production. If she knows that she will need somebody for certain role, or she knows that this storyline deserves this number of people, she's going to use the number of people that are deserving for such a role. She's not going to leave us to our imaginations or our thought and leave such storyline hanging and just no. She's going to include people. As far as the story need people, she's going to use people for that, and that is one thing I love about this movie. Another thing I love about this movie is the location, guys. When it comes to Bimbo, she does not play with her movies. Location for this movie, especially the ghetto part of this movie, was shot beautiful. I love it so much. The office were great. Then we talk about Kunle Remi's apartment or house was also great. Car shot. Location for this movie was so great. To cinematography, you can't go wrong. You just can't go wrong. The lighting was so good. The camera angles was so good for this movie. But what more can I say? Cinematography was good for this movie, guys. Last 2 things that I love about this movie is the time. Bimbo doesn't let us waste our time on her movies, and she gives us quality. This movie is not up to 2 hours, and the perfection. That was really great. And lastly but not the least, the size of this movie was also very good as well. She used all the frame for YouTube size, and that was pretty good. So those are the things I love about this movie. What I don't like about this movie, let's start with Bimbo again. I mean, I said in the segment that I love the way she tries to push herself to or challenge herself to take on roles that a lot of people do not do for themselves. And yes, what I don't like about this particular movie is the fact that as she turned herself into a man, she did not do it to perfection. She tried, especially when she's trying to talk. I mean, if you are talking in that way, definitely somebody will ask you, is that how you talk? What happens to your voice? Is that, there'll be questions. It looks like she's faking the voice, and it doesn't look real. It doesn't look to its perfection if you are watching it. And also, she had breasts. She was acting as a man. Even as a man, her outfit should have been bigger on her to hide her feminine side, especially her boobs and stuff like that, but that was not the case. So the costume department for her role, I don't think that was the best. As much as they tried with the mustache and stuff like that, the boobs was giving it away. I would have preferred if the jacket was a bigger, or they should have choose another character for her, like Agbada or something. I don't know, but the costume wear for her was giving her feminine side away, and that was not really something that I was impressed by. Then another thing I didn't like was where they caught her that she was a feminine. We already know how the movie was going to end, and I didn't like that I was able to just forward it, or I was able to just predict how it's going to end. I didn't get an intense twist like the way I used to get from Bimbo, so that was a little bit underwhelming for me. I mean, it doesn't change anything, but yeah, that was a bit underwhelming for me. So that notwithstanding, I'll give this movie a 6/10 because the costume that I even forgot to talk about was also on point in terms of Kunle, Remi and Sophie and the rest of the office settings and stuff like that. They had their costume point. So that pretty much summarize how I view this movie called Ruse. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next movie review.